Hello everyone, today I will be explaining how I went from running a 30-minute 5K to actually running a sub 25K. So to start off, I'm going to go through my process of running and what I did every time when I ran and how it worked for me. So every single run I start off with just a basic warm-up, mile warm-up, and then some stretching, 10 to 15 minutes of stretching. Then do the actual run, whatever it is, then a mile cool down, then another 10 to 15 minutes of stretching. Then I would come home. I would roll my legs to a foam roller with a body. I have a body one that you like lay on and roll. And I also have two hand foam rollers that I would use. And then after rolling, finally, I would do abs. So I would do like just some basic ab workouts. So like scissor kicks, crunches, sit-ups, things along those nature, along with always a plank, just as long as I could go, at least a minute or more. Okay, so my first tip is going to be working on your form. So actually like knowing, what the difference between heel striking and forefoot striking is, and what you're actually doing when you're running and what's going to work for you and what you should be actually focusing on. Most of the time it's going to be a forefoot, just because generally heel striking is bad for your joints, and you can look into the differences, but research that and make sure you work on your form. Along with, besides your striking, just your body movement, if your shoulders are too tense, how you're moving your arms, etc., how your breathing is. Okay, one of my next tips would be your shoes. So do your research on shoes. There's a lot of different shoes. You can kind of see I have a wide variety of shoes. I have a lot more than just Nike. I just have a lot of Nike shoes. So I've tried the 4%, Hoka's, 4%, is it 4% Fly Nets. This is the Fly 3, have an Alpha Fly, have a Vapor Fly, next percent, second one. I have so many shoes that I've tried and used over my running career. My favorite shoe of all time has been the Vaporfly 2. My favorite shoe of all time has been the Next Percent Vaporfly 2. I might have said that wrong. Usually I say it right, but I just haven't I haven't looked at this in so long. But you get what it is. Next Percent, the Vaporfly, the second version. There's a third version coming out. This is my favorite shoe. It's very pricey. You don't have to buy pricey shoes at all. When I was first getting in shape, I bought some old Saucony shoes that were on sale for like, I think $100, because they were an old version and they just got a new version. Definitely don't think that you need to spend money to get really good shoes, and good shoes are going to make you run faster. That's not the case. They might help with your motivation and help you, get better at, like, I don't know, not hurting your feet or getting injured. They're not going to make you a better runner if you're not already making yourself a better runner and putting effort, especially with carbon plates. A lot of people that look at carbon plates get excited, or that don't know about carbon plates get super excited about them. Just because you have a carbon plated shoe doesn't mean you're going to become Usain Bolt or Eliud Kipchoge or anything like that. Definitely you have to improve first. Definitely once you're a really good athlete or you're in shape, better shoes will make a difference, but not till you get to that point. But definitely do your shoe research. Before this, I was running in some Nike free runs. They were super thin. They were probably like, they were like as thin as this forefoot part right here, maybe a little thinner. And I was running that since, as long as I can remember, since like elementary. I kept buying new ones, and I always thought they were so good because they were light. Because back then, lighter meant better. Now as shoes evolved, it's a lot obvious. You don't have to. It's very obvious you don't have to sacrifice cushioning. For lightness, this is probably just as light as my free run or lighter, even though it has a crazy amount of cushioning. Moral of the story, do your research and pick a shoe that will really benefit you, probably one that's generally for a daily trainer. Like I would probably recommend like a Saucony daily trainer, like the Triumph, or some New Balance trainers. They have a lot of good daily trainers. Just do your research, find a good daily trainer. I personally start off with the Saucony Triumph. I loved it. It was one of my favorite shoes of all time, still to this day, like for daily training. My favorite shoe of like everything besides a daily trainer would be this, the Vaporfly, but it's so expensive that price-wise, Saucony will beat it every time. But if you have the money, I definitely love this shoe. Probably wait till you get a little bit in shape, but this is an amazing shoe for 5Ks, 10Ks, marathon. I'd run anything in this. I've also ran a half marathon, and I ran in my Alpha Flies. I did not like it. I was also out of shape, but I definitely would have loved to have a new pair of these, as opposed to my Alpha Fly. They're just too chunky for me, and I have a wide heel foot. So because of how narrow the middle of this is, it hurts me after I run for like maybe like 4 miles in. I'm gonna get some like some midfoot pain. Okay, my next tip would be eating habits. So just really try to limit your sugar. When I was getting in shape, a big thing for me was cutting sugar out of my diet. I tried to limit myself to one sweet thing a week, maybe twice, and it would be after a hard workout or right before I was gonna do like a long run. I knew I was gonna burn it off. If you're drinking a lot of sodas and stuff, you need to cut that out and try to limit yourself to one a week. And there's a lot of great alternatives, such as hold on, let me get it. Okay, so, how to go get one. I just drank this one. It's empty, but the blue can of this one is really good. It's called Zevia. It's a 0-calorie drink sweetened with stevia, which is a natural sugar that's actually good for you. It can reduce blood sugar. It's not like sucralose or aspartame or anything like that. I love Zevia, and I drink this as opposed to actual soda, especially when you're trying to be healthy. It still has caffeine. They do have caffeine-free. They have a caffeine-free flavor. I would recommend the regular blue cola though. There's a light blue and a regular blue. Just get the regular blue. I think the light blue is the one that's caffeine free. The dark blue would be the one that's just like normal, like a normal soda, except it's not gonna kill you with a bunch of sugar. Also try to avoid eating like fried foods and obviously a bunch of fast food if you can. Just eat like some grilled chicken or basic food, or just try to limit how bad you eat. My next tip would be choosing really good music. So music helps a lot. I personally like to listen to rap, rock, anything that will get my mood hyped. Anime songs, like literally anything. I will listen to anything. If it gives me a little adrenaline rush or gets me hyped to run, I will listen to anything, like literally anything. So don't be embarrassed to listen to like Tokyo Ghoul or You Say Run from My Hero or whatever you might listen to. Just if you're wearing earbuds, no one else can hear it. If it hypes you up, it don't matter what anyone else thinks. Use it for motivation. Use it to, especially if you start getting in shape, you start doing longer runs, definitely going to want to actually have something to keep you there and motivated to keep going while you're running for an hour plus. So some final overall advice is be consistent, work on pacing, and work on timing with a smartwatch or a Garmin watch or something to time your runs. You definitely want to time your runs with something, regardless of what it might be. Also work on breathing. So when you inhale and exhale, work on breathing through your nose, out through your mouth. And when you're running faster, you need to make sure you're breathing out every 2 to 3 steps, as opposed to if you're running slower, every 3 to 5 steps, breathe in and out. On the 3rd step, you breathe in, out on the 5th step. It might be you need to breathe, or even if you're running super fast, it might be in, out, in on the 1st step, out on the 2nd step. And it depends how you breathe. Some people even do 2 sniffs in, a double sniff, and then 1 out. But you need to figure out what works for you. That will definitely help a lot with your run. If you're just breathing right, you need to make sure you're breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. That you need to get in a habit of that. You've probably heard that or seen it anywhere, and if you haven't, or you just thought it didn't matter, you probably should do it. If you breathe in through your mouth, your lungs are going to get really tired, and it's just not as efficient. It doesn't feel as good as you're in, especially when it's cold. If you're breathing in through your mouth, you're going to be dying with your lungs. Your lungs are going to be you're going to feel it all in your upper chest. Finally, I just want to add some more to my story to try to back up my advice. If you made it this far, you're probably really interested. You probably really want to improve. When I was looking to improve, I was 30 pounds heavier. I was 160 before I got in shape. Right now, I'm probably close to that weight again, but I was about 30 pounds lighter or 20 pounds lighter. I went from 160, around 160, maybe a little heavier, to about 140. And I was so out of shape. I literally got last in some races, and then I jumped up from going from last in some races, or not all races. I had one, but I say some. I had one race where I was last, but I was injured, but it's still regardless. I got last in the cross country race. Then I went from being last to going to, just 30, 28-minute 5Ks, to going straight to 19-minute 5Ks. The first time I ran a 5K after getting in shape, my process was I went from running, so the way I exactly went about it was I went from running in the mornings and in the afternoons. I would do 2-3 miles in the morning, then run more in the afternoon, 2-3, whatever I could. I was really out of shape. 2 miles was hard for me. I kept doing that. Eventually I could start running more. I started running 5 miles, 6 miles a day Plus, I had the mile warm up cool down. And then it got all the way up to where I was running 10 a day, or not 10 a day, but trying to run like high mileage, so 6 or higher, with the mile warm up and cool down. My long runs would be 10, 12 miles one time a week. I would have like a rest day. But regardless, kept doing that. I lost like 20 pounds. Was in the best shape I ever got. I was like killing it in terms of running, like from improving, from going from 28, and then I ran track. I also decided to run track. I went from running like 7-minute, 8-minute mile to running a 5-minute mile, like 5:15, even lower than that. Just officially, my fastest time is 5:15. Another tip: just have fun with it. Have fun with running. Running's a journey, and once you get to where you want to be, you're going to be so much like happier if you actually enjoy the process and really just have fun with it. It's a great experience, but you still need to have fun with it while you're doing it. And that's pretty much all I have for this video. Hopefully you found something helpful and you'll stick to a schedule and get better at running and really improve. And this video hopefully helped you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or if you want me to make a video on something else that I mentioned in this you want me to expand upon, maybe I'll do like another shoe talk review. I have so many shoes, but hopefully you learned something and this wasn't too boring because it's my first time really making a video like this, so hope you guys enjoy.